today because we know that for so many families, the math doesn't work when it comes to raising children. The child tax credit can help. The child tax credit has been in place since 1998 to help families with the cost of raising children. And for a brief moment during the pandemic, it really lived up to that promise. We saw the greatest reduction in child poverty on the historical record. But Congress let that 2021 expansion expire. And recent analysis from the Columbia Center on Poverty and Social Policy has shown that since the expiration of the expansion, 20 to 30% of children have been left behind or excluded from the full benefit of the child tax credit every year because of the CTC's earnings requirement.
The child tax credit has really been a part of my life well before I understood what it was. When I was a kid, I didn't know anything about tax credits, but I knew in the springtime we would have groceries, our electricity wasn't getting turned off, and once a year my family would go to dinner at the Greek restaurant down the street because that's what we did when we had money. As I became an adult, when I had my son, the child tax credit and its impact really hit me. Before he was born, I was a full-time student, I had some issues with financial aid, and I had to drop out of school. And I owed my college $5,000, and I was a couple classes away from graduating and didn't think I'd ever be able to go back. When my son was born, I used the child tax credit to pay off the school and was able to have him in the audience with me for graduation. During the pandemic, when we received the child tax credit monthly, it was just such a lifesaver. I didn't have to sit at the gas pump and like, okay, wait, I gotta stop exactly at $20, I can't go over, I know how much I'm putting in my grocery cart because I don't want to be embarrassed and put stuff back at the checkout line. It just felt secure and safe, and knowing that I could do for my kids what I needed to do. And now that that's gone, it's just so frustrating to have to go back to struggling and procuring credit card debt every month, trying to make sure that my kids have what they need.
The expanded child tax credit and being able to get a lump sum and then knowing that that was coming in monthly, it was absolutely incredible. So that really helped us so much. We were able to budget, we were able to save, and it just started a good setup for us, and it created stability in our lives.
We don't get paid once a year. We don't. I don't know if there's a job exists where you do get that, but we get paid, bi-weekly at the least, maybe monthly. And so it makes it hard for folks to have to budget. So if you know you have this specific additional amount of money in, it helps you to budget better. We shouldn't have to choose between feeding our children, whether they get to do extracurricular activities, because then how are we then making these productive citizens of society that spend their entire childhood worried about being hungry, or if they're going to get a Christmas gift or things like that.
I'll say that last year when I was helping to coordinate a Tell Your Food Stories event, we asked folks to share who received the child tax credit to share how they benefited from it. One of the things that was mentioned was how having the monthly child tax credit payments in 2021 relieved the stress of recipients, right? And how not having those payments when they stopped affected people's mental well-being. So I think we can't underestimate the emotional and mental impact of being under these systems that don't provide the support that we need.
I think every child should qualify for the child tax credit. Parents should not have to earn a certain amount of money to qualify. The economy is so hard right now. Some parents lose their jobs. Some parents work but still don't make enough. And children still need food, clothes, diapers, and a safe place to live. So, I think the child tax credit is like a wonderful thing. A lot of times, I think about times where kids would want to do lemonade stands to make extra money. Now we can't even afford the lemonades.
For me, with the expanded child tax credit, just knowing how it helped my family and I, it was stability. It was financial freedom. So to have that weight lifted up off of us, that's what just being able to breathe. And that's what I would love to see again. It would help so many individuals.